Don't make a fool of yourself for politicians. Listen.
Politics is not necessarily dirty by the politicians themselves, you know. It's people who believe they are more than the politicians. Because there are things, any of the ministers in government, including the present Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, would see me arrive there with my mother, and he would do whatever he could to make sure he assists. So this is not a problem of the politicians themselves. I would meet Dr. Kenny and any of the members there. They would interact with me at a different level. Because we have that level of respect. We may disagree on a lot of things, but we would not treat each other in situations like that in a particular way. But some of the people of the country take it beyond what the politicians themselves would do, and they think they are doing something to praise the politician. You know, one time when Mangal was running against me, I was coming up the road and a lady was cursing and getting on behalf of Mangal. And I stopped by her and I said, how many times have I told you all, do not curse on me and do not get on with other people about politicians. I say, if you fall there and I fall there now, Mangal will pick me up before he picks you up, because he knows me more than he knows you. So don't make a fool out of yourself for the sake of politicians. And that is a message that needs to get out there to the average St. Lucian. We can define our political views. We can have a different outlook. We can support a person, but we must never lose sight of our humanity and the fact that we are St. Lucians first.
Mr. Producer, I think we should play that clip again.
Politics is not necessarily dirty by the politicians themselves, you know. It's people who believe they are more than the politicians.
Now I want to ask the mothers who are listening to me tonight, if your daughter's period comes on the weekend, will you go and knock on the school door and ask the security to open there for you so you can get some pads? I ain't polishing no language. I ain't calling no sanitary napkin. I know better. Philip J. Pierre, you should be ashamed. You have a mongrel. I know you have no balls. The man is preoccupied with testicles. You have been castrated.
Everything on the right is black, just like Philip J. Pierre.
To have a retarded like this as a prime minister
ruling this country, Philip J. Pierre should be put into the Derek Walcott Square. In the old days, they used to call it Columbus Square. And be flogged.
They should be publicly flogged for what they're doing.
Yes, yes.
And that is a message that needs to get out there to the average St. Lucian. We can define our political views. We can have a different outlook. We can support a person, but we must never lose sight of our humanity.
So you have sent your mongrel forward. Richard is worse than a mongrel. Richard is a demon.
A non-entity.
And that he was a mongrel.
Every dog that barks
Go around barking all the time. The comrades, the pigs and the dogs.
I let the jackasses break.
And he's a demon straight from hell.
And did you hear the hyena laughter?
I heard it.
Did you hear the stupid hyena laughter instead of embarrassment?
To all the hacks watching and listening to this broadcast, very instructive. Don't make a fool of yourselves for politicians. To all the hacks watching and listening to this broadcast, very instructive. Please stop making a fool of yourselves for politicians.